Hey, this is Arlene here at ASC Minx Boutique. As you can see, I'm making a sling bag. This is all handmade products. ASC Minx Boutique, LLC. I'm stitching up a sling bag, crossbody. It's going to be black, white, and gray with some plaid. As you can see, I already stitched 2 halves almost. I'm just showing you what I did so far. Pulling the thread through. Stitching takes a while. Sometimes I double stitch, triple stitch. I have my own unique style of stitching. As you can see, sometimes it gets kind of tangled. Gotta try to take my time and get it through. I use wax thread, so it seems to be a lot more durable, sturdy, stable, and easier basically. So it's a lot stronger, so I tend to use that one. As you could see me there, just taking my time and working through. It's not an easy task, but I enjoy doing it. So I'm taking my time and I'm doing the thread gradually. This takes like a while, actually, to get one bag done. This takes like a few hours due to the level of detail, the different processes of cutting and making holes in the fabric, deciding which fabric I want to use, deciding what thread, what color, etc., to create an ambiance around the bag. So basically, every bag is unique. It's not going to be exactly the same because I'm not a robot. And I can't duplicate every bag exactly the same. But I can tell you what you can get. Something that's real beautiful. Something that's unique. Something that stands out. And something that's very sturdy. It's going to last for a long time. Inside, I apply what is known as canvas material. That is another reinforcement to make the bag more sturdy as I'm threading. This gives the bag a more firm, thick aesthetic and pleasing to the eye as well. Smooth, rough on the inside, I would describe it as. Smooth on the outside. On the outside, I'm using cowhide leather along with maybe some sheepskin sometimes, and sometimes I use cotton fabric. Some cotton fabric is used. The type of cotton fabric that I use sometimes is different colors and different styles, different patterns, etc. I use some African cloth. I use plaid. I use fur sometimes, rabbit fur, real rabbit fur. I use cowhide that has alligator print, different color variations and textures to give it a more 3D type of experience. But each bag is unique, beautiful, and very well put together. I also do braided straps for the arms, and I'm learning new techniques now to incorporate into the various styles of bags to bring unique, creative new patterns and styles to the bags that I create. As you can see, I'm still stitching here. This is not the full version of the whole bag being completed, but at the end I'll have like a few that you can see what they look like. They're about, I'd say about 12 inches long and about 4 to 5 inches wide. Crossbody, thin and tall. You could put like a iPad, small tablet, cell phone, maybe an umbrella, a tiny umbrella, keys, bottle of juice or something in there. Basic stuff, your IDs. It has like a 2-3 compartment. Sometimes I can make them with 2 compartments. One might be for decoration sometimes, depending on how I'm feeling. But usually there's 2 or 3 compartments on the front, a pocket on the top, a pocket on the bottom, and then a pocket inside the fabric on the front of the bag on the bottom part. And then you have the big opening at the top where you could dump most of the larger items in. So the zippers are basically made of leather as well, sturdy materials. Sometimes I use basic zippers that are already made and I could just sew them in, or I get the ones that are attached to leather already and I incorporate that in as a part of the style as well. So each bag is unique and they stand out and they're very beautiful. They're very strong. They're very unique looking. And, you know, if you like things that are a little bit rustic, exotic, or maybe even vintage, you'll probably like these styles. There's something that can be worn every day. These particular lines are basically everyday wear, casual. I mean, you could take the bag wherever you want to take it to, but it's like basically casual everyday wear. Sporting, you know, little things, you know, just, you know, everyday use, whatever you want to do. I can't tell you how to use your bag, right? So I think they can both, they can be for, excuse me, for men and women. I don't really discriminate, but they're kind of unisex, I would say. But it depends on the individual. If you find them to be something that you want to wear, male or female, that's up to you. But I personally think they're unisex because they're more casual wear, crossbody bags, you know, when a man or woman goes jogging or in the park or, you know, playing sports, they might want a little bag, not like a gigantic duffel bag sometimes. I'm thinking of incorporating those as well. I'm not sure yet. But once again, it's not going to be like it's not going to be like everything that you see in the stores. It's going to be something unique. It's going to be something different. I try not to do things that other people do. I try to keep it, you know, something out of the ordinary, you know. There's too much identical things going on in the world now, you know what I mean? So I like to play with colors. I like to play with textures. I like to play with different styles, you know. So I incorporate, and I will be incorporating a lot of different variations of things and, you know, testing it out. You know, I'm not only doing handbags like this. I do dress wear bags as well. You know, whatever you want to wear. Tambourine bags. I call them bucket. I also make bucket bags, and I call the tambourine bags also drum bags. Like, you know, some of them come in a hard top, like hard front, hard back, the circle part. And sometimes they can be soft as well with the basic leather, no padding on the inside. But most of the material usually is firm. So that's why I call it like a drum bag, but it's a tambourine bag, whatever, you know, it's in the same percussion category type of bag. But then I also make the what I call biscuit bags, bucket bag. Like biscuit bags are like more hard texture, like it's sort of like a drum bag but different shapes. They're firm. You could knock on them and you could hear the knock, you know, sort of like wood, but it's not that hard. But it's hard enough that it's firm, that it holds a shape and it holds a style. So it gives a different aesthetic, a different ambiance to it, you know, a different allure. So those come in cowhide, cow fur. I've been incorporating denim jeans, tie-dye on those bags. And I've put in some like brass buttons and brass buckles and braided straps. So on some of the other videos, you'll probably see some of those as well. And, you know, you could pick what you like. You know, it's a variation. It's something for everyone. That's what I would say. I don't discriminate. So I'm an open-minded person. I could come up with new ideas. You know, I could sketch different things. I have other shape bags as well made out of rabbit fur. And they're really beautiful. They're really unique. As I said, no two bags are exactly alike. So don't expect that. And, you know, this is natural material. So obviously it's going to have some natural, beautiful imperfections mixed in there. That's what part of the aesthetic is. Nature, natural beauty. And that's the effect that I'm trying to give, like a exotic, tropical, rustic, vintage type of style kind of thing going on. Maybe preppy sometimes, as I said, with the biscuit bags, and there's other shapes as well and textures and different sizes. So it goes from small, and I make tiny purses as well. Tiny coin bags that you could put in your wallet, put in your bag, put inside something bigger, you know. But they're cute to wear out as well if you just want to throw a few pieces of gum or small key inside of the bag, and a few change in a little tiny coin purse and shove it in your pocket. I have those as well. I have ones that are more dressy, more for like going out on a night on the town. You just want to have something cute to carry or tuck in your, side or whatever. I have those, and then those are made out of leather as well. And, you won't see those in this video here, but I'm just throwing it out there just to, overlay, etc. But it's something for everyone. And so also, yeah, with the handmade products, I'm also doing other variations of accessories. I do earrings, all beautiful styles of earrings, all that you could ever think of. Disco, vintage, exotic, Caribbean style, different, different cultural mixtures of beauty I incorporate in my styles by way of not just my thought process, but by nature itself. Certain items are naturally more exotic or more vintage than others, like clay materials I use. Those are used to make earrings as well. Dry clay. I use natural beads. I use paint. I use all kind of mixed media, so I don't stick to one array of design. I stick to plethora of categories of different modalities in order to create the different things that I make. So yeah, so for the handmade line, it's all kind of products you'll see. You'll find all variations: earrings, necklaces, bracelets, anklets, and bags. So yeah, check it out. ASC Minx Boutique, handmade.